Welcome to Beaver Academy Red Team series. I'm super excited to meet you all with another interesting series. I'm extremely sorry for not posting any content for a while. I have created the channel and the community with my heart and soul. I'll ensure I'll be posting the video regularly, and I'm excited to start the Red Team series because the Red Team plays a vital role in cybersecurity. There are a lot of demand for it, and also it required skills. Now in this series, I'm going to cover as much as possible. And last but not least, when I designed the series, I kept in mind the beginner as well. But also an intermediate who wants to upskill their knowledge and learn about Red Team also will be covering helping these people to upskill their skills as well. These being said, let's get started with the series. Red Team evolves a number of people plays the basically attacker role to test the facilities or organization for the securities. So their task is to find a complete different weakness, just like actually how hackers are do, right? So their concepts, they will create a scenarios, and this concept would help the company knowing where they might get vulnerable in their designs and security postures, and help them to potentially address the vulnerabilities. So basically they will simulate the real-time attacks, and they will try to exploit them over there. These kinds of cyber attacks actually helps to improve the security of the organizations as well. So this is why the Red Team plays very important, because in this current situations, in current industries, there are various cyber attacks are happening, and there are various tools and platforms are available in the industries over there. But whether it is up to the mark or not, whether it is really doing the jobs, or whatever the controls and are in place over there, it is helping the organizations to protect the data and infrastructure from the attack or not. So to evaluate those things, Red Team is actually plays that, and they do that job, and just evaluate the security controls which are in the place. How Red Team adds value to the organization. So basically proactive identification of security vulnerabilities. So as I said earlier, so just imagine system has some unpatched software flaws are there. So Red Team will find it and close the flaw before the hacker can exploit. So they basically simulate the attack, and they try to know, okay, these are the loopholes on the system. So there is a chances hacker can get into via this as well. So this is why the proactive incident of the security vulnerability, and also enhanced incident response capability. So by emulating the real-time attack, Red Team testing the response plan. So there is a SOC team or blue team will be in this organization, or maybe MSPs will be there. By just simulating this attack, whether the response time or the detections, basically were those operation teams able to detect it, and able to they recognize and they able to stop the attacks, and how quicker they are detecting those things. All these things can be evaluated over there. So basically maybe kind of a mock phishing attack, and see how quickly SOC team would respond. And it also gives a real scenarios based on it, so that even the SOC team also able to understand, okay, what kind of attacks currently industries are getting over there. Better security awareness and training. So whenever these kind of trainings actually provided, so the whether victims actually simulated email attacks and more conscious and those things, it helped them to get it, probably they will run a phishing campaigns and help the teams to understand it over there. Security control validation. Think of security tools as a net. As I said earlier, so there are a lot of tools are available, but really those tools are doing the job. The SOC corporation has configured it, everything, and tuned the product as per the industry standard. So these things will be help us to get things, whether there is actually, whenever there is attacks that happen, whether these can able to catch my security controls, whatever they have defined it, whether it's able to capture it and stop this attack. So kind of simulating and see whether I can by bypassing the defense or not. And if suppose it's bypassing, I'll just see that Red Team will see that, okay, where are the loopholes are happening, and they will tune the security tool after the industry started and make sure the security controls are up to the mark. security first culture promotion. So by keep doing all these things, so that every team in the organization, any infrastructure teams and everything, they will understand the real cyber threats, and just they will understand, okay, say everything whatever we design, whether it's a developer team or it is an infrastructure team, so they will keep the security as a forefront of everybody things over there. So that is also gives a clarities on that part. Inform strategy design making. So red team offered insight to work out smarter decisions. If an attack simulate uncover a certain risk, then you can prioritize the risk towards mitigating the risk. Hence, for that, again aligned to that, we can make a strategy much more effective over there. Comply with the regulatory requirement, because you know that every company has to follow GDPR, PCI DSS, ISO 27 standard. So there are a lot of regulatories they have to companies has to follow, depends upon the companies and industries. So red team actually helping those to security measure and see whether there is any violation, those things as well, so that we can companies can set the standards and avoid some fines and penalties over there. Stakeholders confidence increase. So by keeping the red team, so that I can red team actually do a simulation attacks and just keeping the things in the before the possibilities, closing all the vulnerabilities and keeping the infrastructure more secure, and training the SOCs and see how it is response, and all these things are there thing just keep red team is doing on it. So basically by doing these things, red team is actually increase the confidence. If the investors and customers or partner know we are having a red team and we are do regularly these things, and this is how we testing, and so basically that tells that my security postures are in control. So your data, whoever I do business, so basically that gives the confidence to the business. So basically business is works on the reputation. So to keep the reputations, I keep my customer data or I keep my company's data as proper and secure. How I evaluating with the help of red team, I just come to know that. So this gives a more trust in the organization. So this is how the red team actually add the value to the organization. Red team frameworks and methodologies. So there are a lot of frameworks, and there like a Mitre attack framework, CB Nest framework, Tiber EU framework, NIST, PTS, OSAP, and a lot of things over there. But I'm just going to cover the top most two frameworks, which is a Mitre attack framework and kill chain methodologies. I'm going to cover it over there. So these are the like a Mitre attack. It is nothing but it is a knowledge base. Basically it's a TTP, which is a tactics and techniques and procedure. So basically this is something like a kind of the based on the real-time scenarios, like how the hackers are hacking over there. So it's basically this gives a blueprint and track of it. So once the system, if suppose initial phase they want to compromise it, so what are the attacks are possible on it, so how the hackers are, so this gives a like a complete red team to simulate the real world attack, because I have to work on the real time incidents, right? So it's something like based on my industries, what are the attacks that happen, possibilities are there, what kind of controls I am having on it. So this will help you most on it well. So the using the Mitre framework, the red team is basically the model and emulate the behavior of the advanced persistent threats and other adversaries. And also red team just plan their simulations and also help them to identify the gap in the defecting and defense. So basically that is actually gives over there. Kill chain methodologies as a it's a pretty methodologies that is also gives stages of a cyber attack, like there are different phases like reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and executive action on objectives. So basically on this methodologies, so the red team is actually plan the things and they will perform the simulation attacks. So basically by you following this kill chain methodologies, red team can analyze and distribute the attack chain of the action at each phases. So each phases work, okay, in the initial reconnaissance I able to do it, so these are the vulnerabilities exist there, but when I come to the command and execution controls, so I cannot able to do it, or persistence I cannot do it. So those controls will stage wise will help the red team to, okay, I can come to till that these are the loopholes are there, I have to close it. So this has helped the teams to figure it over there. The red team use this model attacks and identify the opportunity to intervene, stop an attack as well. So how the Mitre attacks plays for a red team very important, because mostly Mitre attacks are very they used it in red team's purpose. So in hacking phases, reconnaissance, so reconnaissance is nothing but just understanding the collecting hackers usually collect the informations about the organization's infrastructures, what is available in the internet and what is can be scanning, and those things they will be achieving it using reconnaissance. Post reconnaissance, they will see whether they can able to perform a payloads. They will create a payloads and see they can able to gain access of it. Once they gain the access, and they go for the persistence and the lateral movement on the network, so that they will do it. And the last thing is they will collect the report of it. So basically they whatever they did it, they will collect the report, and it will be shared with the customer. So this is the Mitre frameworks actually red team is actually followed based on it. So like a map adversary is nothing but it's just a framework to specific tactics. So based on the real world use cases, okay, what we are going to perform, it's basically if suppose APT32 or APT2, there are like a lot of various cyber groups are there. Based on that, the tactics will be using a Mitre attack navigator. The analysis will be done, and based on the analysis in phishing, the scenarios will be developed on it. So post the scenario, for example, if I just want to do a phishing attack, and from the phishing attacks, when the victim is actually click it, so I can able to deliver a command and control on your system, then I see whether I can do a lateral movement. So the scenarios will be developed it on, and based on the scenarios, whether what are the controls, whether EDR can able to detect it, or my phishing emails user is self skipping that things. So these all will be based on that developing the scenarios over there. So it's a real-time development, selecting the certain relevant TTP based on the organization threat profile. So these scenarios multiple simulate how the specific type of would target the organization. So it's completely based on the organizations. So when they done it, basically during the simulation, the red team identify which techniques were successfully executed and which were detected and blocked. By comparing all these results with the Mitre attack framework, they can point the gaps in the organization detections, like, okay, my EDR solution is not working, it is actually detected but still I got a control, or my SOC team has failed to do detected. So these and all, they will be identifying the gaps in the systems over there. Once they done it, probably they will come back and little more customization. So they will not stop there only. I'll see whether what other possibilities are there. So red team will be customizing their attack using the frameworks techniques to focus on the area where organization is most vulnerable. So once they find the vulnerable, they will see what are the options, how way they can, what and all other possibilities can get it over there. So this might include specific tactics like phishing, lateral movement, or data exfiltration, trailing to the exploit, identify the weakness, and all these things will be done it over there. All this, once it is done, they will be red team will be drafting in a structured manner, so that these are the things we perform, these are the tactics are done, this went well, this is our captured, so this is the mitigation. So they will give all this information based on the analysis report. So based on that, it's a kind of a continuous improvement. It's something like the Mitre attack is continuously updated with the new techniques. It's a keep the communities will be keep updating, and based on the updates, the new techniques and new tactics will be observed in the simulations, and red team use these updates to refine their simulations over the time and ensure they are always test again the latest threads, because the latest threads will be keep evolving on it. So they will be doing on it over there. In case if you just need a Mitre attack framework navigators, how to use this on, how the red team is actually creating a simulations, please like a comment and put a comment in the chat, and based on the comments I'll be doing on it, because in this series I'm not going to cover about the Mitre attack navigations part, because that is a very small part. But in case if you feel that you need that one, feel free to comment based on the comments which I receiving it, and if the request was more, I'll definitely do Mitre attack frameworks, navigations, and how you can create a basically how you can create red team, how they can create a simulations. Just I will walk you with it over there. People usually have some people will think that okay, red team and penetration testings are both the teams, and okay, what they do, they will have the confusions on it. So let me walk you within the real so objective of the red team is very simple. They will simulate the real world attack to test overall security posture. But the penetration tester, their job is they will not perform any attack. They will find the loopholes. Basically, they will see whether exploits, say they will run a nexus scan or vulnerability scans and see that the CV numbers are there, and based on the CV whether the exploits are able to exploit or not. So these are the things that they will be doing in the penetration testing. Scopus of the red team is broad and goal orientation, so just basically targeting a multiple systems or process over there. Penetration testing is a very narrow, like a specific on network penetration testing or web application or what kind of testing. It will be stick with the things over there. Approach of the red team is minimical real-time simulations, so that way and the penetration testings, they will go in a methodological, like they following the checklist and standards. So they have a checklist and standards, so they will just follow it that manner, like okay, so they, if for example network checklists will be there, okay, network segregation is done or not. So based on those checklists, the penetration test will be stick it over there. It's more robust process, that is what. So duration is of red team is something like it will go for beyond the month, because you just need to think as a hacker to exploit those things and everything. So that is why it's take a longer, but penetration testings can be done in a few days. As depends upon, for example, certain testings will be like scanning only the IP address or scanning only public exposed web applications, or depends upon the project requirements. So that things they will be, assessment will be done on. So it can be done on a short period of time. So output of the things is it will help really gives a systematic weakness and tested incidence response for the red team. It's just something like penetration testings will find the vulnerabilities with it. Something like red team, even they can go beyond the zero-day exploits as well. That is also possibilities over there. Penetration testings just stick with the vulnerabilities and existing things. They will go with the procedures on this one, and also it have a remediation actions. But red team will not. Assessment will be there. Okay, this weakness is there, so we have to close it over there. So the identifications is the red team's purpose. So mostly they will be using same kind of tools, but only thing is they will be using a little more a lot of hacking tools and penetration testings. Nowadays there are a lot of automated tools are there, automated scanners are there, and they will use only standardized tools, like things will be there. So this is the penetration testings over there. Collaborations with the defenders, like red teams do more, because they will do it in a stealthy manner and see if the SOC team or blue team or different team can able to detect over there. But during the penetration testings, they will already informed it, so their intention is not to see whether the detecting or not. Their penetration testing is to identify the vulnerabilities of it over there. The frequency is sometimes periodically, annually and biannually, depends upon the companies and organizations. Penetration testing usually will be the same, regular, quarterlies and biannually. That is the companies usually does over there. Focus is realism, comparisons, comprehensiveness, and this is something like, again as I said, thoroughness on the specific areas only. Report will be very strategic, what to do, how it is happening, how these things will, high level recommendations will be there. This is something like detailed technical findings. Okay, I did ABC and have finded this one, and this is the findings, and this is the fixed remediations will be there. It's very systematic things with that. This is the difference between the red team and penetration team, but both the teams are different, and so it is not the same team over there. You need to understand very clear about it. So if suppose you are a person who looking like there is a defense team, and but just you understand, okay, red team is very very important, but so in this, using these steps, probably you can integrate the red team into the organization's security strategies over there. So first is very important is aligning with the business goal. So we have to understand organization business objective, what company is trying to protect it over there. For example, if you are a service based company, that means your customer data, PMI data are very important. So job of the goal here is to protect, and the testing has to be do that. So we have to focus on what is the objective, risk and appetitive, and priority percent to the securities over there. So this is very the purpose of the red team has to align with the business goal. Define a clear objectives. That's mean the what is actually to be expected from the outcomes of it. So you don't expect, set the clarity to the business leader is very important. They should not, a wrong expectation is always a thing. So what is possible, what is comes in a scope of with this business, and what is comes with it, so that you have to do it over there. So what can be possible, you cannot go back and perform a DOS attack, right? It's just like in the web application that throws up business also. So clear objective is very important. Testing, when there has to do a specific testings, how quicker incident response, so all these things has to be planned well defined manner. Obtain executive supports. So there should be acquiring the executive sponsorships to ensure resources are made available to the team in conducting comprehensive simulating, including all the authorities. So basically you just need to create a communities and who are the responsibles and everything, and all things you have to create it over there. Just not, so the committee is very important to drive the cybersecurity. So basically cybersecurity steering committee is very things has to be put it over there. Integrate with the existing programs. So if suppose make the red team part of the general security strategy, with the security programs such as vulnerability management, penetration testing, incident response teams, suppose companies having, just add this to be the part of it. So design flow wise, it's need to be comes in things over there. So usually companies, what they do is when they design anything, it will goes to the penetration testing and vulnerability assessment, and if suppose any incidents happen to them, but red team also should be the part of the strategic thing. So you have to plan it accordingly. Develop a red team plan. So develop a plan that can outline scope, goal, timeline, resources needed for red team exercises and everything. So when we are simulating hiring a technical people, hiring the technical teams, how long you have to do kind of testings, so these detailed plan of it over there. Leverage the threat intelligence. So basically make use of the threat intelligence to customize the red team exercise the most relevant, and pick the current threat, so based on your organization. So for example, in the same example, if the service based company, so what are the service based companies are facing a latest threat, so based on the threat you have to see what is that. So that is always better rather than you just no need to worry about which is not relevant to your business. So this, okay, if it is a hospital based companies, okay, what is kind of cyber attacks are happening on based on the hospital healthcare, that level you have to create a regular exercise and those things over there. And regular exercise, so periodic exercise with the each time the scope and focus, that over time the comprehensive testing can be achieved. These are the things you have to do it over there. Incident response plan, you have to develop a response plan procedurally, identify and respond to the real attack. So that is why that is how you can so you need to have an incident response. For example, the red team is performing a attack, but there is no proper incident response, there is no proper SLA, then how the SOC team will work, or how the defense team will defense it. So these are the things you have to think about it. You have to plan accordingly, have the incidents response it over there. Once you've done it, maybe probably continuously develop the incidents response and those things over there. Collaborative environment. So basically you have to create a coordinations between the red team and other security teams, so that they can share the knowledge and they will collaborate each other, and they can build a proper system on it over there. End of the day, analyze and report finding. So after every exercise, analyze the result, and that is very important. So you have to create a systematic actionable recommendation to the security findings and those ways. Remediation actions. So once identified has done, so the concerned team regarding the remediations and finding what are the weaknesses and identified, which is noticed by the red team during the red team exercise, it has to be closed it on it. It should be have the process of remediation actions, how quicker has to do it based on the severities, criticalities, all these things over there. Review then adjust the strategies. So periodically outcomes of the red team exercises, periodically just change the thread and organize the landscapes and accordingly. Measure and track the progress. So this is how you can evaluate your controls, security core scoreboards, and the MTR values, detections, how quicker you are effectively are things over there, and then based on the things you can improve the security postures and responsibility capability over the time. So this is how you can integrate the red team into our organization strategy. This is something like this presentation is morely into a introduction to the red teams and problem. In my next chapter, we going to talk about, I'm just going to demonstrate a lot of things. A scalable automatic adversary emulation platform. This is the one of the widely used open source tool created by Mitre for adversary emulation. This allows the red team to simulate actual cyber attacks with so much hassles. The coolest things in Calra is this tool make good use of Mitre attack framework. So also I'll be touching about how to, in my next chapter, I'll be talking about how to install this tool and how you can create a simulations and how red team can use this tool and perform their task over there. So which is we can create a run and realistic attack scenarios with the least effort. And also we will be testing the defense as well. So when I'm doing this test, whether so parallelly I'll be trying to install some EL stacks in the cloud based and see whether the directions are happening on it. So just I'll be trying to create a something simulation based so that you guys can get an idea about it. And it's also a flexible framework for your red team exercises over there. So in next chapter I'll walk you with this complete tool. So we're going to install this tool and we will perform certain testings and we will see how whether that detected in the sim tool, which is a EL stack, and see how it is actually red team can use it, and you can gain the knowledge of this tool from the next chapter. Thank you all for joining me today in this exciting series. I hope you found the content informative. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving like to this video and also share your feedback in the comment below. Your feedback is essential for shaping the future of this channel. Ensure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the complete series, because when you hit this notifications of whenever I post a red team series videos, you will able to get a notification and you can just watch it. Also feel to share this video with others who might find it interesting. If you have any questions or need a further clarification about anything shown in this video, don't hesitate to reach out to me via Discord. Lastly, a big thank you to all my subscribers. Your encouragement keeps me motivated to create more valuable content for you. Stay safe, stay curious. See you soon with the next chapter in the Red Team series very soon. Bye for now. Take care.